The thing with Blue Rose is, besides that he's basically have like, I would say, one team that you're really running him, and that's Powerful Opponent with the other one, and I think Green Broly, I think that's his best team. He is not that ordering. I think Sword of Hope and Gohan then can be replaced. Number 3 and number 4 in my opinion, you can change. I'm putting Legend Broly at 4 and Gohan and Trunks, or Trunks Gohan at 3. It's in my opinion still the best team in the game. I can't believe I have to do this. Yet again, I've made a top 10. I was actually quite satisfied with the list, but throughout the span of few days, getting deeper and deeper into the PvP, like top 1000 right now, and using more teams, facing more teams, and I think for the first time ever, I've re-looked my list and thought, man, almost every single placement here is just bad. I'm surprised even that there are people who like my top 10, because re-looking at this, almost every placement feels a bit, not almost everyone, but a lot of placements feel like really bad. Like, God, so yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to update this tier list. And I give my explanation for every single unit where I'm gonna place them. I just feel weird. The only one time I had to update my list really, I felt like, was when Wuhan released, and I downplayed it a bit too much. But dude, right now this is not it. This is not it. We're gonna have to switch that up. And yeah, we're gonna start from 0, I guess. I'm not gonna talk about the units that didn't make the list last time. That's unnecessary. Yeah, we're gonna talk about every unit, more or less, and what has changed in my opinion in comparison to last time. Number 10, Pan. I mean, I already said she was good, but I think she is making the list. She is caught on a movie setup with Broly and Gogeta, and on hybrids, and hybrids is a very strong offensive team right now, one of the better teams in the game. And I gotta say this immediately, Future Trunks is off this guy is Sword of Hope is off the list, so I'm putting Pan here. She deserves out of everybody the most to be at the number 10 here. So yeah, it's crazy that I think I believe I have to do this. Anyway, yeah, she's a good support. Individually, obviously, she's not the best, which is why she's only a 10 unit. But she's, again, Corn hybrids, giving 50% support to hybrids and movies characters, which is insane. And you notice this on Gohan and Trunks, you notice this on Gohan, you notice this on Gogeta, and even on Green Broly. So yeah, the Pan support is nice. Individually speaking, not the greatest, but she is also yellow, so she can stop sometimes the purple side of Trunks and Gohan. Right now, the meta is if either you're working well with the Trunks and Gohan or you're working well with Gogeta, and if you don't do neither of these things, your relevancy is kind of low, and Pan indeed does fill that role very well. But if she was better individually or had a second life mechanic, I would even consider her maybe higher. But yeah, Pan, the actual number 10. The number 9 spot, which you might think a bit surprising, I'm putting Vegito at number 9. Vegito, in my mind, is just the Fusion's team, which, well, it's working well with Gogeta, but I think the Fusion Warrior team is just unnecessary. And not even because of Charlotte, which we're going to talk about later. Charlotte, Gogeta, Vegito. This is the Fusion Warrior team. And now if we look at the team, what you could do, which I would consider the better team, is just replace Vegito or Gohan and Trunks. Because this is what Vegito does. Vegito, granted, cool, he has a second life mechanic, which neat, but Vegito is just there to be all damage. However, we have Yellow Goku Black, who is still a complete wall to this character. Doesn't care about this ultimate, he's gonna tank it, he's gonna regain health, and if he's Stream Transport, transform, just transform, full health, like nothing happened, and until you lose another character, which is probably gonna be this guy, he doesn't get a second ultimate. So he's basically just this full damage. And again, you could just run Gohan and Trunks and you would still have a purple. They have far more damage, and this is a full ranged team, which you can tank above everybody. You put in Gohan and Trunks in leader slot, you're gonna run these two, you give a green, I think green Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta buffs green fusions, you give a Zenkai buffer for this guy, I guess red Gogeta, and then you slap on the red Super Vegeta who is buffing Saiyans, so these both guys get this Z ability as well as them getting a Zenkai, since buff since red Vegeta buffs red Vegeta clan. So you can run a full setup of this, everyone here gives offense and blast, you have some defense, like overall you can run this team which is having far more offense abilities, as well as in case you're fighting a yellow, you can tag switch with them. It's just a better team. So Vegito is just the unnecessary character for this because he gets just replaced by Gohan and Trunks. It's just the inferior version. Fusions is the inferior version to a full blast setup of like Trunks Gohan on fusions, or Gogeta on game originals, whatever you want to call it. So I don't see any reason to put this guy very high. And yeah, we're gonna move on to number 8. Charlotte. Yeah. By the way, I'm not making this list, redo this list because of him. He's part of it, but other units I also think didn't get the right placement on my list. Charlotte. Here's the thing with Charlotte. I don't consider him as bad as many other people, I think. He is more so the character that is there in the back doing stuff. I mean, he's giving support, baseline, 20%, that's nice. He has buff removal on standby as well as subcam reduction. Very similar to, I think even the same as Blue Rose. So, he's providing some side support, some side buffs, as well as having the feint chance on a blue card, which is very nice. But my opinion still stands that this is a character that he can do some work, but it will always feel like other units would do better. And again, if you have, for example, this trio, Charlotte is not your priority in any shape or form, it's the other two. And if your fusions is just an inferior version of this trio, like I already said, and then is the question, where do you really run this character? And the answer is like, no, but nowhere else. Like, let's just say you were to run, I don't know, these two together with Yellow Goku Black. Let's just say you would do that. Well, that's just the inferior future routine. Like, every version otherwise is just inferior for Charlotte, for the other units. And Charlotte, while he can feint, which can sometimes win your games, it's an RG mechanic. So, this character, individually speaking, from what he's doing by himself, isn't doing that much. He's more providing a supportive role on the team, which, in comparison to everybody else, everyone has a far bigger role. His color is not ideal since this guy exists. And if you, for example, again, if you're running this trio, which is probably, I think, the best setup for Charlotte, I guess, other Gohan and future Trunks and Gohan Trunks forever, can nuke your team, other Gogetas can nuke your team. This is a very hyper-offensive and very defensively weak team. And I don't think Charlotte does enough overall by himself to consider his team very high, in my opinion. I don't think this character is that bad. Again, I think 8 is the best positioning I'm gonna give him. I think other teams are just better, and other units do, generally speaking, more than Charlotte does. So I'm gonna keep him at 8. Should have been better, yes. But I think, because people talk about buffing this character, if he didn't have the fainting blue card, I would even agree. But if this character gets like on this level with a fainting blue card, it's gonna be annoying. So I'm partly happy that he isn't that good. But I think he does solid damage, he has support, again, he's providing enough stuff where I could say he's definitely deserving to be in the top 10, but I wouldn't put him any higher. Moving on to the... I hate that I have to talk about this unit. The Red. Revival Gohan. This infinite combo maniac is still good because of the boost. I hate this character, man. I wish on my first tier that him have a number 10 on my first list would be accurate, but it's not. Hybrids is a far too strong offensively team in comparison to any other team these two have. And this Gohan has multiple very useful stuff. For one, obviously the infinite combos. I mean, these are the two most long combo characters in the game right now on a team. Fun, right? But not only that, but this character has a very nice ability. It's every time he confronts an enemy, the enemy loses 30 ki. The reason why this is so important is because these guys get 30 ki on tech switch. So the best way to stop this character right now, besides themselves, might be just this character who is, again, they do their cards, they lose their ki, they're gonna tech switch, they're not gonna get any ki. So their combos are gonna be shorter against this Gohan. On top of being on the same team with them, with pad, insane damage, he's also supporting because for whatever reason he needs to support. He's annoying. Airy Green character, the only one in the meta, annoying. We don't have a lot of Airy Green cancels besides Vegito, who's not really ran, so it's like... Yeah, this character is still annoying, this character is really strong. I hate this character to the bottom of my heart, and will always will. But he's right now just that good, so I'm gonna keep him at 7. Yeah, and then we're gonna move at number 6, which... That's an insane jump in downfall, by the way, if you're gonna see through it. Red Broly. It's not that I think this character is bad at all. I think, again, Red Green still has the offensive strength to be considered one of the best teams in the game. 1000%. However, I cannot ignore. I just can't. I've seen this team get destroyed too much by Gohan and Trunks. And again, I still think this team is good. I still think, again, if you fight, for example, if you're facing this Gohan and Trunks is gonna tear this team apart if he gets, if he touches them. That's just the truth. However, this team, if Broly catches Gohan and Trunks and you don't have 2 switches, they're done. He's gonna beat the living hell of this character very easily. I still think the oppression Red Broly has is very, very good. He can snipe out one of the best characters in the best characters in the game still. That's still a thing. But I think right now, I think other teams have a bit more value in combination with that. These guys can just destroy the team too well. On hybrids especially, with all the support, it's just insane. And it goes both ways, because again, if this team can also destroy hybrids extremely well. Like Gogeta Stardust Fall on Pan, your team is nuked. If you're losing Gohan and Trunks on hybrids, you're just automatically losing. But I think, again, it's a 50-50, but if this character touches them, he's doing too much damage. They do too much damage, bro. And I think other units are a bit more necessary and providing more, well, feel a bit more needed to me, or have better teams overall, where I put Red Broly down. Again, I don't think this is a bad character. Again, if you want to run that team, you can pretty much still do that. I don't think there's any bad issue for you if you're running, for example, if you're fighting future. Again, if you fighting any team with this characters on and you kill this character first with Red Green, you are probably winning. That's how good the team is. I just think the other teams are a bit more better and consistent, to my opinion. That's just me. As again, still a good character, still has one of the best teams in the game. If you want to ask me what the best teams in the game right now, I would say it's Future, it's Movies, it's Red, Red, Green, which is technically also Movies, but I'm gonna be more specific, and Hybrids. Those are, in my opinion, the 4 best teams. I still think this is very, very good. And it's not like this character is not killing anyone on the list. Again, he can very much destroy a lot of characters on the list. So yeah, Broly at number 6. Speaking about Brolys, the green one at number 5 for me. I've talked about Gohan Trunks and how they could destroy Red, Red, Green. Broly, the center defense on Red, Red, Green, gets destroyed by Gohan and Trunks, and Gohan and Trunks is in almost every match, and they do insane damage. They have the potential to kill this character sometimes before he gets to full transformation. And while I do think he on Movies with Pan and Gogeta is a strong team, I just think that while it is a strong team, you have to consider losing Pan. This character gets a lot more stronger and oppressive than it already has been. And that's just this character. We have also other partners for Gohan and Trunks that are on the team that is very threatening. So I have to look at this guy lower. No good team that Broly really has a good answer, I would say, to this character. The biggest argument you can make is that you run him with both Rosés and he's then now a bit more safer, but if you mess up your switches on that team, he could die. And then it's a 2v3 with these two guys, which they can self themselves more or less against this character a bit, but I have seen and experienced this way too much where this character gets just liberated. I'm sorry. Broly is still good though, it's not like he can't do anything, that's not what I'm saying. But the presence of this character against this unit is a bit too much for me to have him higher. And I think there are other characters, which you can tell who are either just straight up better or far more necessary. Which is why I'm keeping Green Broly at number 5. I mean, last time I said he's number 4, now it's number 5. I've decided to put some units up, some units down, which you will see. Because I'm gonna keep the number 3 and 4 shared. Right here, and we're gonna delete this row because number 3 and number 4 are blue and yellow Goku Black. The necessity of these two units against Gohan and Trunks is too much to not consider in the top 4, in my opinion. You don't need Green Broly, you don't need Red Broly, but I feel like you do need Blue and Yellow Rosé. If you're not running Hybrid, you do indeed need these two, so that this character doesn't destroy you immediately. Because if you look at the list, and look at the yellow and blue units, it's just these two and these two. If you're not fighting Hybrids, you're not facing these two. So it's only these two. If you're using a team that doesn't have a yellow and doesn't have a blue, they're gonna combo you forever. Always bare minimum, type neutral, doing insane damage to every single character of the team. Having type advantage, or sometimes the yellow Goku Black type advantage, for example. If he's purple, Chalet issue, this character issue. I've seen too much of this character destroying other teams, and the best team, or the best units to answer this character is, in my opinion, these two characters. And they are always ran together. I don't see how you can differentiate any of the two, because these two provide the same value on the team, which is completing the future team with this character or stopping this character. Blue Rosé has the ability to, every time it gets hit, to lower sub counts, which makes it very much easier to switch from Blue Rosé to Yellow Rosé back to your other, for example, your Gohan and Trunks. Like, he helps to keep the rotation against this character alive. When he gets a blue card, a green card, or an ultimate, he's for a while immune to attribute downgrade, so very helpful against their disrupt, including card destruction, which is very important. You're not facing Green Broly as your main thing every single match like it used to be, so this character is far more free to run. Obviously he's blue, so good against this character. And then this character is still an Iron Wall if you... I mean, yes, you have the risk of this guy, blue card, buff removal, killing Yellow Goku Black. That's obviously a thing. Which is why the reason why I would even say Yellow Goku Black, if I had to order, would be a bit lower, because this guy is never a type disadvantage against this character, however this guy is. But the subcon reduction of full unique gauge, Dragonball destruction, one of the best teams in the game, tankiness, like he can survive sometimes the blue card from this guy. He can still survive the Stardust Fall very well. Uncancellable Covenant, which it doesn't really matter in future, honestly, because this is an infinite combo machine, and this guy, I mean, at the start he can it's very useful at the start, because if this guy gets priority, you simply don't lose your Covenant and can get to level 3 gauge full, so that's nice. Yeah, nothing much to say. They're very, very good right now, and very much necessary right now, so I think they have a higher value than Broly. The Broly's, Gohan, everybody else here. So yeah. And then, number 1 and number 2. What's the order, huh? I've been thinking about this a very, 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 very long time. Because it's extremely hard. It's extremely hard. I'm putting Gohan and Trunks at number 1 and Gogeta number 2. I'm sorry. It's a very difficult choice, and I'm gonna be honest, as you can see, it's a shared spot. You can switch this around if you want to. In my opinion, the meta is revolving too much around this character than Gogeta. Think about this. This team isn't really built against Gogeta, it's built against this character and helping this character. There's no team that's really... I don't think anyone is like, we need to have this counter team against Gogeta. Like, I wouldn't necessarily run that. Like, when I say I'm running this team, I'm not thinking about, now I have this blue unit to suck up Gogeta. That doesn't really bother me in a sense. Like, this character does enough damage for me to get rid of Gogeta sometimes. But you can't really deal against this character without the blue and the yellow character. Gogeta is not dealing well defensively against this character. This character, in fact, the first time Gogeta gets a hit on you, and he has lost in full unique gauge, like if he has 0 gauge and he gets combo on this guy, 2 cards, combo done. Over. This character doesn't have that problem against Gogeta or any other unit he's not type disadvantage against. And I feel like the damage output, the teams, the everything is just too much for me. And I know a lot of people would consider Gogeta over them, and I had that before too. I had that when Gogeta is number 1. But I got this character to 8 stars, and I see this character, and I use this character so much in almost every single time. It's just too much, and don't get me wrong, Gogeta offensively has easily the capability to destroy this character, which leads to almost a win. Almost ever. And not only that, but they don't have a second life mechanic, so the arguments for Gogeta over Trunks and Gohan is absolutely there. Like, but if I look at, obviously if you look at these both and they would have the same endurance, bro, they would be superior by a mile. But it's very close because this character doesn't have a second life mechanic, and because this guy can start a slow, for example, this unit very easily. However, besides the situations where you go for, let's just say you get PV'd, or you go for a strike attack or whatever, or your mid animation gets rushed, they farm Dragon Ball so fast because for unique gauge they're getting a Dragon Ball, they combo you forever. Like, Gogeta can be stopped. This character is very difficult to stop. Sometimes they just combo and combo and combo and combo and combo and combo and combo. And I cannot deal with this, bro. I just can't. I feel a lot easier with fighting Gojitas than I fight with this character, bro. It's just too much. They have a way too good disrupt, rush ceiling, Dragon Ball gaining, infinite combos. What else do they need? And I honestly forgot that this is a Gohan character for most of the time because Trunks is the face you're starting at. Like it just occurred to me yesterday that it was like, I was like, wait a second, that's a Gohan right there. That explains everything. Because I seen Trunks first and Gohan second, so I don't realize it that much. But the more I thought about it, I was like, damn, that's a Gohan right there. That explains a lot. I think he's the best. They are the best character in the game. Again, you want to change that? Absolutely do. I'm not gonna argue with you about this. Like, if you're gonna say like, okay, Gogeta's the better character, there you go. I can say yeah, makes sense, totally. If you want to have the best character, I can say agree, fine. We don't need to discuss. Like, this is nothing. I'm gonna be like, oh, how could you have Gogeta at number 1? That's insane. Like, dude, yeah, if you have a number 1, fine, do it. I don't mind at all. But they just do too much for me right now. It's just, I don't feel like anyone is like, we need this counter Gogeta blue team. But I always feel like I need a counter Gohan Trunks team. Like, this team, for example, I'm not like, okay, Gogeta's gonna tear them apart. I'm like, Gohan Trunks is tearing them apart. On everything. Like, even if I ran, for example, this trio, I wouldn't be like, oh, Gogeta's gonna nuke their ass. It's like, Gohan Trunks is gonna nuke their ass. Probably. You see what I mean? I don't think Gogeta has the same presence on that one. In the game. Like, he has every capacity to be the best character in the game, and again, for most people, he is. But it's just too much, and this might also be a factor of me not having Gogeta Blue. I'm gonna be honest on that one. Could be that if I had Gogeta Blue, I would probably put this guy up over 1 because I have the same experience fighting and using the character, but I don't. And from what I'm seeing from using, I'm more scared about Gohan and Trunks. Anyway, that's my updated top 10. This is my final list. I am right now on this 1000% confident. If this list is still bad at the end of the day, I just messed up. But I'm 1000% confident on that one. Because what's worse than admitting you have a bad list is making an even worse list. Which I don't think it is. I think this is far more accurate. But let me know what you guys think about this updated list. Do you like my old list better, or do you think this is more accurate for the meta? Let me know what you guys think, and see you guys in the next video.